the street game, the graffiti game. I got exposed to that life in the Bronx really quick. You know, that kind of intrigued my mind, you know, as a kid. We just like defended our art, defended who we were. You know, for me, airbrushing is like spray painting on trains. So the same type of techniques that I used on the New York City subway system is the same techniques that I use on a t-shirt or a sweatshirt. Doing that jacket for Push, man, it means a whole lot. We had a conversation. He told me how much the Shirt Kings meant to him in his childhood. So when he got me to do this jacket for him, it kind of just took me back, but it also brought me enjoyment knowing that what I was getting ready to get into was gonna also connect him back to his past and spring both of us, you know, forward.
Listen, untouched. This jean jacket, this Saint Laurent jean jacket, been in my closet for a minute, and I would not touch it until I get this done. Would not put this on until I got this done. We ain't pop no tags off of the nothing. You can.
Doing that particular character, you know, when he came out, we turned what was something fearful into fun and made him hood. So it kind of eased a lot of people's minds, you know, the fact of a walking and talking doll, you know, trying to, you know, murder people, you know. Now that doll is like chilling in front of a Porsche. He's in the hood, you know, he has a fistful of money. Like Chucky, like, you know, Shirt Kings basically saved Chucky's life, you know.
Way too much memories. What? Everything I wanted as a youth.
Wow.
What? Everything I wanted.
That's real.
Everybody I looked up to, everybody I wanted to be like had it.
Wow.
Come on. Man, this is crap.
I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and moved to the Bronx at the inception of hip hop. When my family moved from Brooklyn to the Bronx, we saw that there was this culture just beginning, and my older brother got heavily involved. He came home first with some markers and was tagging up. And then after he became a break dancer, you know, that kind of intrigued my mind. I said, you know what? I think I'm gonna follow in the footsteps of my brother. Picked up a marker, started tagging up. I began to meet a couple of different graffiti artists, and fortunately I met one of my mentors, Case 2. Case really, he laid down the game for me for the outsides of the train. He just told me how to paint, you know, the color schemes. He just had all these techniques, and you know, I took it and I ran with it. The graffiti took me to every borough. Jay Z, I know him from 8 years old. And that's because the graffiti took me into Bed-Stuy to write with some Bed-Stuy writers on the G train. My Shirt King partner, Nike, he lived in the same building as Jay Z. And so he's seen the whole evolution of me coming to their projects and painting and then translating it to the Shirt King days, which happened much later. I was away in college and my friend Sound 7, he just kept saying, yo, I need to teach you how to airbrush. I was like, nah, I'm good. You know, I know how to make money in the streets. And he was like, nah, you need to get with this. And finally I went to his house on my college break and he literally put an airbrush in my hand. I started painting the first day. And to me, it felt like I was in the trains, but here I was able to take my time, paint the same type of characters. The airbrush had the same feel. It had the same look like spray paint. And I did very well. My mom's is my first customer. I just did some roses for her, gave it to her, and she was like, here. And I was like, what's that for? She was like, here, take the $10. I'm like, okay, you know, it's a gift, you know? And she's like, no, take the $10, go buy you more paint. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then she took that shirt to her job. Everybody was like, yo, I want a shirt, I want a shirt. And so next you know, that whole summer I spent painting shirts for people on my mother's job. After that, I began to just make money in the neighborhood. And then the crack era came out, and a couple of the guys who were dealers, they started buying shirts from me, but then they were wearing it to Harlem where they were going to get their stuff to re-up. And they were like, yo, the guys in Harlem want your shirts. So I ended up going out to Harlem. When I was out there, it was like an incredible thing. You know, they was like, oh, this is the rich man's high and all of this. Before it rotted people's teeth out and stuff like that, you know? So you seen a whole line around the block of different professional people. You saw doctors, lawyers, the telephone man. You seen everybody on this line to get crack. My boy knew the head guy. So he went in there and he's like, hey, what's up, Black? And he was like, yo, this the guy I told you about with the shirts and stuff. So I go inside and man, I see this pile of money like to the ceiling. And this little dude is just on the floor and he's like pitching, throwing the money behind him. Pitching, throwing the money behind him. And that pile was like, boom. So at the time, you know, my mom's had gave me $10, you know? So he's like, yo, how much you charge for the shirts? I'm like, $25 a shirt. And he was like, all right, cool, cool, cool. Let me get like 15 shirts. Took the money right there and I'm like, whoa. He's like, count that. I'm like, count it. I walked out of there and I knew I could do all them shirts in one day. And he was like, yo, how long it's gonna take you? And I was like, oh, it's gonna take me maybe like a month. And he was like, okay, cool. I did it the same day, you know, because I was like, you know, you don't know, you're not promised tomorrow. So let me knock these shirts out right now so I don't owe this guy anything. So I did the shirts. I waited like about 2 weeks, went back down there and the guy was so happy and he was like, wow. So then I seen there was a connection with me, the art, and with people who like money.